In this video, we're going to take a look at 3 books that are super hot right now. And what I mean by that is when they hit my site, they sell typically within the first hour. Very, very rarely do they last more than a day. So not necessarily that they're breaking any record prices, but just that they sell right away. And stay tuned for a future video where we do a deeper dive into like a full market analysis, state of the market type of thing. I'm going to gather a whole bunch of data points and combine it with the last time I did a market video and see where we're at in the market. So stay tuned for a deeper dive on that. I will say just on the subject though, that the volume that I'm seeing right now is higher than it's ever been. And so I want to look at some volume metrics and stuff like that too, and break it down into a really digestible, like data driven video. But just anecdotally here, like the hobby from that sense is alive and well, that people are buying comic books. But I'm kind of curious how much of that is my business is doing really well, how much of that is the comic book market. I'm going to break it all down in a future video, so make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and leave a comment down below. And in so doing, it will enter you to win this month's valuable YouTube giveaway. We're giving away a gold second print Spider-Man #1 Todd McFarlane goodness. And head over to brizecomics.com and sign up for the newsletter over there. You'll be entered to win a Venom #3, the first appearance of Null in a 9.8, and check out all the new inventory that's over there. By the time you're watching this video, there will be a whole new set of slabs available. But look at all these cool Doctor Doom covers and Galactus covers, tons of awesome signature series stuff, a bunch of trades available for Grail, some Stan Lee signature stuff, and a whole bunch more. So check out brizecomics.com, use code COLLECT10 for 10% off. So the first book I want to talk about that just is super hot, has been for years, literally, has basically avoided almost any kind of correction at all, is House of Secrets #92, the first appearance of Swamp Thing and this awesome Bernie Wrightson cover. Something about this cover, it just hits. It's just so good. It's so good. The character's so good. And the performance of this book is nothing short of impressive. Most recent sale of a 5.5 here on GP Analysis is $1,300. 90-day average, $1,300. And then you get to like the 12 months average. Look at that. The 12-month average was actually less than a 90-day average. So for this grade, it's gone up. But overall, when you look at this graph, this is for the past 5 years, this section right here. And yes, there's been ups and downs, but overall, that's a pretty steady line, which is more than you can say for the vast majority of comic books in any era. So this book, for whatever reason, just refuses to have a massive correction, and it instantly sells. Every single time I put it at a fair price, it's gone. So that's the first book on the list. The second book on the list is similar. Batman 227. This is an epic recreation, homaging to Batman #31 with one of the most iconic Batman covers ever. But this one is a recreation here by Neil Adams. And this book is very similar in the sense that like it refuses to have a massive correction. And every single time I post it on my website, it usually sells within the first hour. Almost always within the first day. Of course, sometimes there's exceptions to that. Let's check out GPA. I remember one point in time, I was looking at a 9.6 for $5,000. And I thought, $5,000 is a lot of money. And this was back when the market was hot. And I thought, I'm just going to be patient on this one. Well, look at this. The last sale was $8,200. I mean, it just doesn't seem like there's ever going to be an opportunity to get in. It just, when you look at all of the sales data here, it's just like, when is this book going to come down? If we come over here and look at the 6.0, the last sale was 775. Look at that. The last sale is actually almost a record high. For this grade, at least. And the same type of thing here. There's been ups and downs over the past 5 years, but overall, it's basically a steady line. So this book, for whatever reason, I mean, I guess we can just call out the reasons. Awesome cover. Covers sell comics. Classic artist, awesome character. I mean, that's all you need. It's not even a key issue. There's no first appearance. It's just a cool cover. And that's all it needs to be. Next on the list is one that sells right away in my shop right now, is Amazing Spider-Man #129, the first appearance of the Punisher. Now, this is interesting because about 2 or 3 months ago, I think it was, this book was I would definitely not say it was hot. It wasn't like I couldn't sell it, but it would stick around for a little bit. Or maybe I had to reduce it by $100 or $200 $200, depending on how expensive it was. But it was one that I remember when I would get it in, I'd be like, I'm probably going to have a little bit of a time getting full value out of this. Now, when I get it, it just sells right away. And it's twofold what's happened. I mean, first and foremost, awesome cover. Like we've already discussed how important that is for the liquidity and value of a book. Epic character. So those two things just out the gate from the day it was published. But then, all of the pop culture appearances of the Punisher. And we just had him in the Daredevil series. And that surprisingly did not really give this book much of a bump. I remember thinking, oh, great. Now Punisher's on the screen. Like it's going to be an easy sell every time. And I remember thinking, this is crazy. There's like no noticeable difference in demand from the Daredevil series on Disney Plus. But then we got an announcement that Jon Bernthal is going to reprise his role in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And that, for whatever reason, that announcement I don't think it caused any increase in value, but it just caused a crazy increase in demand to where, people still weren't willing to pay, higher than the last sale, but they were willing to pay last sale right away. And so that, I think, was the big changer. For whatever reason, people are excited about seeing Jon Bernthal on the big screen, and has caused an increase in demand for this book. And it just brings up an important point to remember is that books have ebbs and flows, especially for these major blockbuster characters. And, you can try to time your buy-in or whatever, and that's all great. If you're in it for the long haul, timing your buy-in, if you're a patient person and you're able to do that and you get enjoyment out of getting a better deal, that's the way to go. But there's an entertainment value to comic books. It's not just what you bought it at and what it's worth. How much are you enjoying it? When did you own it? If you want to own it while he's on the screen or when that announcement comes and you're getting enjoyment out of that, there's something to be said about the value of that. So it's not all just about when you bought and when you sold. You also have to remember this is a hobby, and if you're getting enjoyment out of it, you're doing it the right way. So now let's take a look at some books that are slow movers. And to do so, I just want to go to my big boy section on the website and sort by date old to new. So let's see what has been sticking around the longest. Silver Surfer #2 in a 9.8 with off-white to white pages. Now, I have this at below FMV. The last sale was $2,400. I have it at $2,200. I'm sure that 24 was probably a white page copy, but I mean, it hasn't sold for $2,200 in the last 5 years, and even before that, it was selling for more. Back in 2016, it was selling for $3,000. So it's definitely not too high of a price, even with off-white to white pages. I just think what this book represents is if somebody's willing to shell out the big money for a 9.8 copy, they probably want to hold out for a white page copy. And they would probably rather pay a little bit of a premium to get a white page copy than to have the off-white to white. Unless you're not a page quality snob. If you're not a page quality snob, you can get a lot of, you can expand your collection quite a bit for, less funds. If you could just not let perfect be the enemy of good. So anyways, I think that's what's holding this book back. It's like a run filler type thing. It's not a major first appearance. I mean, the first appearance of Badoon, I don't think is on top of anyone's list. But if you're looking to add this to your collection, I am flexible on the price. I could probably go down to $2,000 to shoot me an offer on that one. Here's a similar book that I think the only reason it hasn't sold is page quality. Marvel Premiere #28, the first team appearance and origin of the Legion of Monsters. I think if had this been white pages, it would have sold instantly. But again, if you are willing to look past that and want to add this to your collection, I can give you a price that I'm sure would be lower than anything on GPA. Here's a different category here. So we have X-Men 98. There's two things going against this book. Number one, it's a CBCS. And this is similar to the page quality thing. This one happens to be white pages. But I think if people are going to shell out 9.8 money, the vast majority of collectors want it to be CGC. And I think it would be actually quite a bit more expensive in CGC than what I have it at here. X-Men 98. And this is just a tricky book in general. You come over here and look at GP analysis. There was a sale this year for $9,600, and there was also a sale for $2,700. That's a crazy, crazy spread. I wonder where this $2,700 sale was. Now, mine has 2 signatures on it, and this was at Heritage. Man, and it looks like a decent copy. I think this was just a great deal on this book. And sometimes in a situation like this, like the next, it'll take a while to give buyers confidence again. You know, like people might be saying like, oh, the last sale was 27. Like I'm not going to pay anything more than 27. And then maybe the next one comes in at auction is back up to 4,000. And then it gives people a little bit more confidence. Like, okay, the sky is not falling down. Like I do want this book and I do want to pay big money. So I think what I'm going to do on this one is I think I need to just crack it out and send it to CGC if I want to get anything near that. And I paid near that, so I do want to try to get near that. But the second thing that I was going to say that it has going against it is the two signatures are on by Chris Claremont and Dave Cockrum are on the first page. And it's another one of those situations. If someone's going to shell out signature series money, they want to see the signature. But at least with on the first page, you get the gold label and you get it there on the label where it says who signed it, and you know it's there. So another thing, though, just an interesting thing, high grade, high value CBCS and signatures on the inside. Another category that is just a slow mover is golden, non-key golden age, expensive non-key golden age. Pretty much any expensive golden age with very few exceptions. I mean, obviously those major key golden age issues, those are super liquid, super hot. But the thing about golden age books is that almost all of them are like really expensive. And so it takes a while to find the right buyer. Like this is just a really cool World War II Alex Schomburg cover. It's super high grade, but it's $2,300, you know, and so for someone to shell out $2,300, they're going to pass up, you know, the first appearance of the Shocker, and they're going to pass up the first appearance of Doctor Strange and this comes back to, you know, what you collect and what you love. There's lots of I think the person that would buy this Young Allies would probably have very little interest in superhero books. You know, there's just different strokes for different folks, but my point with Golden Age books is that they just take longer. They're certainly not hot. Here's another example of that. Very expensive, really early Captain America comic, which is absolutely worth $2,000. It's just finding the person to pay the $2,000. A run filler Spidey 9.8 white. Here's one that's at a great price, $1,500, but it's not a key issue. And again, you know, who's going to prioritize that? It's a run filler who's looking for run filler 9.8. They are out there. It will happen. You just have to be patient. So it's certainly not a hot book. So anytime you get these high value 9.8, even if they're white pages, I just expect to hold on to them for a little while. Now, I should have started with this. Justice League of America #1. If I were to think of books that are not hot, like this is one of the top of my list is Justice League #1. Every time I see it in a collection, I go, oh my gosh, here we go. I know it's worth $1,600, but I know it's going to be really hard to get $1,600 for it. For whatever reason, people do not prioritize Justice League of America #1. Even Justice League fans. I know it because you vote with your wallets, people, and it still sits there on my website. Eventually, I'll find a home for it. It's a beautiful copy. It's an awesome key. I actually know somebody who collects comics who's a chess player who really wants, it's like there's somebody out there that will pick this up. It's just going to take some time. Here's one I just picked up that might take a while as Mr. Mystery #12, Golden Age. This is one of the most iconic pre-code horror covers out there, and it presents beautifully for a 3.5. I mean, you would be hard-pressed to find a better presenting 3.5 than that, but it's $7,200. So it comes back down to, you know, just being patient and finding the right buyer for that, but it is available for trade as well. In fact, pretty much anything that's been sticking around on this Big Boy Book page is available for trade. So with a few exceptions, just reach out to me if you're interested in something and we can work something out, put something together. There's those two that just, look, all three of them. That's what made me do this video, is just how quickly those went, and I had 2 copies of this. So that's it for this video, folks. Just a little bit of musing about what's hot and what's not. I hope you found it interesting and found something helpful in here. Don't forget those 2 monthly giveaways here on the YouTube channel. Subscribe, comment, and like, and you're entered to win a gold Spider-Man #1 Todd McFarlane goodness. And sign up for that newsletter while you're at BryceComics.com. You're entered to win the first appearance of Noel this month. Thanks as always for sticking with me to the end of the video. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.